Hey you guys, it's your girl Darius the Aquarius. I look horrible, I know, this is not about me. So I'm starting to get more messages from people when I'm like looking at them, or like certain people are coming to me for their voice to be heard. Um, it's something new for me. I use cards. I kind of like, I guess you could say, automatic type or automatic write, but I don't do a lot of writing because I'm in a lot of courses right now, so my hand hurts a lot. But I looked at, actually I heard the song, that one song, Somewhere Over the Rainbow by the Izzy, I hope I'm saying that right, Israel. And I'm not even gonna try to attempt to say his last name because I know I'm gonna butcher it. Um, but honestly, like instantly, this is just what I got when I looked at him. I know he's passed away. Rest in power, Izzy. You know what I'm saying? Your heart song will live on. You know that song, every time I listen to that song, it naturally makes me feel hopeful about life again. And when I tapped into his energy, when I was getting messages about him, and I also like I connect to my guides and my guardians, and I asked, for the highest messages from their guides and guardians, and what is okay to be shared. You know what I'm saying? And instantly popped up money thieving, and basically I asked myself, I'm like, where's the money going from the? Because like that song has a lot of views, and I'm thinking like, where is that money going? You know what I'm saying? Because this he has passed away, so um that's the first thing that came to my mind. And then I got that he's a good person, that he was very lovable, very loyal, devoted. He loved to cook, probably liked to cook for others and help people out in his community. He was definitely rooted in his roots. Um, there was problems. I picked the problems from the feminine energy, and I don't know if that was just me more of picking up because he was indigenous to Hawaii, and that has a lot of connection to Lemuria, so I don't know if I was like picking up on that. But and I got that he was an indigo. He was recessive, so just like looks can be deceiving basically. Like he was not like mean or tough or anything like that. He really was like a gentle giant, and he had a good heart, a really big heart. And then I got like he was connected to the stellar nation of the whales, and so am I. And I just want to say that I'm not being rude when I say that, okay? The stellar nation of the whales, they're connected to like sound frequencies, the heart chakra, to Akashic records, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if any of you guys understand that or not, but I'm not being rude when I say that I picked up that he was connected to the stellar nation of the whales, because I also am, okay? So like if you like orcas, if you like whales, you possibly could be too. I mean, it's not okay. I'm moving forward. Anyway, so I got that instantly that he was intuitive, creative, but he was an escapist. So maybe he didn't like, maybe he felt like maybe he wasn't, not that he wasn't safe to be who he was, but like maybe he had to portray a different, like posterior than what he really felt inside, or like how he really was. He was very tied to his people and the land, and seeing the colonization that took effect on Hawaii devastated him on multiple different levels and multiple different realities and timelines, because I instantly picked up that he was an ancestor reincarnated. So he had been indigenous to that land before. He had basically, I don't know what group, or I don't know what tribe he came from or anything like that, or if that even is something they do in Hawaii. I'm so sorry, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I just got that he was a reincarnated ancestor. So it was something that was really like disheartening for him, and it wasn't just like a conscious this life level, it was like a subconscious, like, I've done this, I've lived this before, I've seen this, and this is absolutely heartbreaking for me. And I'm sorry I look so gross. And I got that he had health issues. So yeah, I was like, how did he pass away? Before I looked it up or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I obviously don't want to be putting false information out here. But I got that I picked up health issues, diabetes or kidneys. Then I got organ failure. So then I looked up, and then I think it said that he had respiratory failure, and it was probably connected to his kidneys and his heart failing. So I think he had a hard time accepting his reality, like a lot of star seeds. So like, again, like he was probably one of those first or second wave of indigos, and unfortunately they didn't really have the space or the platforms now, like we do, the spaces like TikTok and YouTube, to really be safe, to be who they were, to be able to create. They, like, you know, we know we're breaking down old programs where we're told we have to be something or do something, when really we just want to be, right? We want to create. We want to be able to, you know, live from our true heart song and that be enough, right? So anyways, and then I got the 909. So as this was coming through, I looked at the clock. It was 909. And then that angel number, I looked it up because I didn't know it off the top of my head, but it was usually connected to legacy souls or ones that are closing out ancestral cycles. So for him, I felt like he completed an ancestral cycle, or like in a way helped his community, or he wanted to. And I think that's why I immediately picked up on what's going on with the money, because I feel like, you know, I can't say for sure if he's crossed over or not, or if he's at rest, which I really do feel like he's more at rest, because he does feel like he's very, like, a very high angelic human being and stuff like that. But I think, you know, really it's kind of like his intention was to always, like, uplift his people and to bring and to cherish and share that gift that was rooted in him. So, old-fashioned upbringing. So basically just meaning like the stuff that, you know, carried over from generations to generations was passed down to him. Like, he was very rooted with his culture, but he had a revolutionary way of thinking, like most starseeds. So like maybe he was a little bit different than his crowd or his family. Maybe he felt like he was, you know, the black sheep or something like that. I didn't pick up on that, but like that's just what I'm like, maybe. So then again, like I said, stellar nation of the wells, like sound frequency, sound healing, connected to the heart chakra. He had a huge heart chakra, okay? Huge heart chakra. And then that would make sense, because when I picked up on that, and then I eventually looked up when I saw that he died from respiratory failure, and they said it was possibly connected to his kidneys, which I picked up on. And then his heart, that would make sense, especially if he was like, you know, if he was really heartbroken and stuff, like, you know, like I feel like you could die from heartbreak, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this man did, but, you know, that shit happens, because people really do come through with big hearts, and unfortunate scenarios be happening and stuff like that. So anyways, and I picked up that possibly he has some Beta Centauri star history. And yeah, like I said, he was an ancestor of his reincarnated and of his earthly people. And again, he was very tied to his roots and his land and his people. And I just want to say, rest in power, Izzy, Israel. Thank you so much for the gifts that you've brought. The sound frequency, listening to you just sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow is so healing. Only you can sing it like that. And just, yeah, I'm starting to cry because I'm sorry, but I don't understand what I'm doing with this or where I'm going with this, and I don't want to be disrespectful at all, but like, you know, he was a really good person, and I totally like connected with him, because I know how it feels to be an indigo, to be misunderstood, to be like, feel like the alien, and like really just have a good heart, and to always be kind of like just bypassing yourself because you want to give back and you want to extend your heart so much because you just have a huge heart chakra. Like, I'm definitely that type of person too. So just a very beautiful soul. And I'm gonna wrap this up. I just want to say again, rest in power, Izzy, Israel. May your people, you know, find, may they receive what they deserve. Seriously, like, you know, I'm so sick of this colonization, this patronization of indigenous people, and you know, it's not by coincidence. You know what I'm saying? So I will leave that here. If you guys like this kind of content, you know, give it a like. If not, that's okay, because this is a new gift for me, and I want to be able to share these souls messages. I've also had 2 other people come through to me, and I think it's honestly beautiful, because honestly, one thing I've noticed that they've all had in common is either they've been, you know, indigos, or they've just dealt with being silent. So, you know, the throat chakra, indigo, yeah. So I love you guys. Until next time. And sorry I look so horrible. Next time I will try.